in modern memes, I'm pretty sure at this point that anything Sultai or Temur quantifies as a meme, because they are decks that people really like to see submitted that are truly terrible on average. This hand doesn't have a black source in it, but I think it's pretty reasonable here. We get to go get our crabs on 1 into Orb on 2 into Fraying Sanity on 3 potentially. It's... Yeah, you're not wrong, Marty. Morning, Jackal Girl. This is Jackal's Mill List. Dealer's choice here. What's going on, Tom Dog? Thanks for the support. I appreciate it. Obnoxious people crapping on the things that I work on used to get to me a lot more than it does now. And now, whenever somebody decides they want to crap on my stuff and I have that moment of self-doubt, because it's very human to have that moment of self-doubt where you're like, oh, are they actually right? Am I supposed to be doing this? And the moment of self-doubt mostly passes when I look at my sub count and go, oh, there's 1,600 people at least that think what I'm doing is awesome. So God bless them. I think I'm supposed to just cycle this Vision from Beyond here because I would like to try and hit my 3rd land drop ASAP here. Morning, Numbuzz. Afternoon. That's pretty unfortunate for us. I think I've been a trap here. Good chance they don't have any more. I feel like there's a good chance they don't have any more copies of what's it called? Like there's a good chance they don't have any more copies of anything going on. Yeah, they've been to Polluted Delta on 1. They have some fetch lands for what's it called? They have some fetch lands for the card Fatal Push to enable, but by and large you are correct that they don't. All right, so that mills them 10. This mills them another 10. If they want to keep shipping with this, it's costing them 4 cards, basically. I think I bin this rather than this. We need to draw. We've got a few live draws here. Glimpse the Unthinkable is pretty live. We are taking 6-8 here, so we're dead. We're dead in 2. So I need to rip a live one here. That's unfortunate. Well, I guess this lets us live, huh? This lets us kill the Mutavault. Thanks, Clutch. I appreciate it. This gives us a redraw here. Because these are only dealing, 6. I'm actually not going to use this just yet, because if we draw an archive trap, I want to be able to kill them with it. So we're going to 1 here. So this is it. Our one last shot. It's the chance to roll. It's not going to do it, chat. It's not going to do it. We were so close. They have 5 cards. We were so close. This is going to be an Ensnaring Bridge out matchup, believe it or not. Good stuff. I'm not going to show them Bridge. Maybe I should show them Bridge just because I'm planning on boarding it out. It's probably not unreasonable. So we're going to board the bridges out. Grab the Set Adrift. Brutality is probably fine. Push is pretty terrible here too, though. Bring in this extra Surgical Extraction and these Echoing Truths, I guess. Just like a lot of our cards don't do a whole lot. I actually think Trap is better than a lot of our other cards. Like, we have a lot of cards that just don't accomplish a lot in this matchup. I think Trap is fine. They have a few fetch lands, and we have Field of Ruin. And, like, sometimes we're going to get to 5 mana. So, I think this is fine. Like, a lot of what we have going on here is not that great. I'm gonna choose to draw against 8-Rack here. Come at me. Morning, Captain Jack. Morning, everyone. Hope you had a great weekend. Happy Monday. Yeah, Surgical lets us beat random things like Emrakul. And also has more things than that, too. I'm gonna feel real bad if we get Smallpox here, but it is what it is. If we don't get Smallpox here, we're gonna Turbo Mill them. Justin, most of those things were already up there. Most of those things were already up there. You can see the upcoming deck list in the donation queue. That's pretty unfortunate. I guess this at least milled them for 3, but... Oh, they're making us discard. Well, that's great. Alright, been a land, I guess. Perfect. Yeah, the JAC deck is great. American flag. I did, Red Tech. Those were great. A plus. Yeah, when I take a day off, Justin, it becomes hard to keep the decks under 50 and some things balloon up. Once I play through most of what we have going on today, and we're still gonna have some things above 50. By the end of the week, we should be mostly below 50. Does mean they're edicting me, I assume, since they didn't plus this and madness this? Really? Okay. I guess I technically want to cast this, so that way I just, like, get through another card in my bin, so that way I'm more likely to enable Delirium for this Manic Scribe. If each player's upkeep, that player has no cards in hand, draw a card. Well, that's pretty good. I want to donate money to whoever donated the teamer list. We had Vegas donated for explicitly a teamer list with donated explicitly for a teamer list with 4 copies of Jace Fringe Prodigy, and then I cleaned up the details. No, the shirt's a little mesmerizing on stream for sure. I think we're pretty dead, chat. if you're playing a matchup where your opponent's going to board out their removal, I could see Asylum Visitor being very good out of the 8-rack deck. The problem is, at least in my experience, a lot of people can't afford to board out all of their removal in most matches of Modern. Like, there's just so many creatures and decks that play to the board in Modern that most people can't afford to cut all of the removal. I think the biggest problem with the Spirits decks on average, Justin, is that they have too many 3-drops in them. Like, 4 Spellquellers and 4 Drogskell Captains is a lot of 3s, and I think Eidolon has a pretty low impact overall that I wouldn't want to main deck it and be another 3. I think I keep this on the draw. This seems pretty good with a couple of lands in it. Fraying Sanity does stack, if you have multiple of them. Yeah, could you imagine if we had a coin? Which Eidolon are you talking about, Justin? Are you talking about Eidolon of the Great Revel? Because I just assumed you meant Eidolon of Rhetoric. Maybe I'm supposed to play the Orb here. I don't know. It's not going to mill any cards out of them. Oh, they're playing blue Tron. Okay. Interesting. Oh, no. Oh, no. Chat. Chat, we're going to give them Tron, chat. We're going to give them Tron. That is a spirit, huh? I don't know why I didn't assume that was a spirit. Yeah, it makes sense now that I stop and think about it. Playing a red card seems like it might be hard. I'll think about that, Justin. That might be fine, actually. When you said Eidolon, I assumed you meant Eidolon of Rhetoric. Because that's the Eidolon that's played in Spirits. That's where my head went. I assume this isn't resolving. You're welcome for the island. There's your Tron. Peace and joy. Things are not looking good for our hero, chat. Oh, we don't care about that one. That's fine. Our hero heaved a heavy sigh of relief. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'm not supposed to play that because it lets them tech edge me. Yeah, I think I'm not supposed to play the Field of Ruin because it enables tech edge. I don't want them to field the tech edge, not because they could just put it back, but I want to be able to field them later to archive trap them, ideally. These remands are super annoying. Yeah, Justin, I will definitely make sure we have Eidolon of the Great Revel in the Spirits deck. We'll probably get to, well, we might get to that tomorrow. What's the queue look like? Tomorrow's probably going to be Reveler, Scales, Elves, Spirits. Yeah, we should get to Spirits tomorrow if the order stays where it's at. It's 4th at the moment. Mesmeric Orb says, whenever a permanent becomes untapped, that controller's that permanent's controller mills the top card of their deck. So good consistent source of, hey, put cards in your discard pile. Hopefully we can get to Delirium with this. Perfect. We just been to search for Azcanta. I'm actually going to go ahead and Collective Brutality here in case they only have one counterspell. Nope. All the decks that are listed in the title that we're not currently playing are decks that are coming up. Umont, thanks for checking out Honey. I appreciate it. Welcome. Thanks for supporting my content that way. There is a way to get a timeout without assistance. You can type !timeout in chat. So I know my opponent could Thirst for Knowledge into a counterspell here, but that's basically milling them 3 cards, and they're milling cards for tapping land, so I think that's a worthwhile for me. Oh, did they have a Snapcaster Mage I wasn't paying attention to? They totally did. Whatever. That's fine. This will make some tap lands and stuff. And then we're actually getting... We're getting pretty close to having lethal, right? I do have green-black elves in the queue twice at the moment. The person that donated for the second one explicitly asked that I add a second copy rather than adding it to the deck that was already close to the top of the queue. So decks that I know I'm okay playing with, I'm willing to put a second copy into the queue if someone wants to do that. This is going to be close, but we might actually get there. There's a bunch of different ones, Marty. Their deck has 26 cards in it after this Manic Scribe trigger. So this is 13 and 10. I need to draw... I think I'm out of basic lands. So I need to draw a land in order to do both of these. Or I need them to search. Yeah, field lets me get them, but I can't field. There's no basics in my deck for field to get. There's no basics in my deck for field to get. I'm using the Moksha Linux desktop currently. All right, so I'm gonna start by fielding here. There's 5 basics total. I think we're out. Although maybe that was a Marsh Flats. That might have been a Marsh Flats. It might have been a Marsh Flats. So them drawing cards here is pretty good for us because it's tapping lands as well. Wow, they are drawing so many cards. You just stuck bridge. No way, I'm going for the throat. I'm going for lethal here. They're down to 20 cards. This mills them 3. This mills them, you know, a bunch. Yeah, this could cost them. I'm gonna lead on Glimpse here. No, I'm gonna lead on Archive Trap because I can pay for a Condescend. Cast for 0. They're down to 6 cards. So they need to kill this and counter this, or they lose. Bodhi Linux is the desktop that I'm using. I'm actually just using the default Arc theme. Sweet, got him. We gave them free Tron, and they couldn't accomplish anything with it. What a sad, sad life. What a sad life Blue Tron leads. I think I want these Echoing Truths, right? What would I rather have? These Ensnaring Bridges or these Echoing Truths? Probably Echoing Truth, right? Because they have They have Platinum Angel in their deck usually. Oh, I want Wet Ball for sure. Yeah, that's not close. Shh, good catch, good catch. Maybe Echoing Truth isn't good enough. Maybe 4 Brutalities is overkill. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna Coward Split and split the difference. Is Search bad in this matchup? I think Search is fine. I think they're not a particularly aggressive deck, and I like that Search gives me more enchantments to enable my Manic Scribe, which is nice. Like, our opponent's not aggroing us out of the game, right? Like, they're gonna give us time. Wet Ball is kind of nice. It does slow them down a little bit. 8-month meme Monday. Can't ask for more. Kazenti. Thank you for the 2/3 of a year and welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Cast Down's definitely better than Push, but they're both terrible. I boarded out the pushes, right? Yeah, all the Fatal Pushes are gone. Like, Fatal Push basically doesn't have a text block. Cast Down can kill a few things. This deck's got a lot of balls. 6, actually. I think this is fine. Fraying Sanity is pretty good. I think I'm gonna keep this. They mulliganed. I feel like I'm supposed to go Collective Brutality on 2 here to, like, make sure my Fraying Sanity resolves on 3, and that way I get to Manic Scribe with Fraying Sanity out to double up. You're not wrong, JMP. You're not wrong. Alright, well, we're just gonna take the Condescend away here. Well, they do have double Dismember, which is a little annoying. I guess they're really scared of our Manic Scribe, huh? Today's got a lot of sweet ones. Today's got a lot of sweet ones. Look at that. Fraying Sanity, lose the game. That's pretty good. Pretty good. While we're waiting for the 3rd match in this league to pop, I'd just like to thank everyone for joining us already this morning. Got almost 400 people already and not even 10 a.m. Yeah, JMP, legacy donations are frozen in general. If you're enjoying my stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are the people that keep me employed here full time. You can also support my stuff by supporting some of my wonderful sponsors. Cardsphere.com would love to help you turn some of your cards into other cards or cash directly with other players. There's no hacking. They just take 1% fee off the top. The Dream 42 helping out with those wonderful subs. Thanks for putting your Twitch Prime towards my channel this month. Welcome, welcome, welcome. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags with them. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles using promo code Jeff5. You can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. And of course, this stream is made possible by viewers like Anoronics, Justin Nivik, and all y'all out there. Thanks for hanging out. Remember, if you are enjoying this stuff, make sure to hit that follow button. Loot Zombie with that big 7-month resubscription. Thank you very much and welcome. I appreciate that. NJ Hawkage with the brand new tier 2 sub. Hawkage, thank you for that extra level of support. Be sure to drop me a message in private after you take a peep at the donation queue. Tier 2 and tier 3 subs get to bump a deck in the queue every month of their choice. Is a big thank you for supporting my content. The people that support me extra get to dictate what we play and how soon we play it. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it. I am pretty confident that I'm playing fairies. If you haven't watched the blue-red fairies video from last night, you're going to want to watch that after we're done being live today. It's your birthday today as well. Well, happy birthday. Thanks for dropping by on your birthday. Hope you have a great one. As the number of donation decks has been reduced, will you revise your donation methodology? Yeah, once I get it under once we get under 40 decks in the queue, I'm going to revert the queue back to the $10 minimum donation to get a deck onto the list. That's my goal, at least. I feel like I want to just pass here because I think I want to do this while I have Fraying Sanity in play. No, 10, Jackal Girl. I had dropped it to 10 for a little while when I started doing friendly leagues. Just 10's a nice round number. Perfect. This Fraying Sanity should resolve. If I had more mill cards... Yeah, tickets are the same as dollars. Storm seems like a bad matchup. Maybe. I don't actually think our opponent's playing Storm, though. Sulfur Falls is usually indicative of not Storm. Yeah, they're probably just a Blood Moon deck. Thanks, Anaronics. Hope you have a good day at work. Today will be a sweet one. Lightning Bolt pretty much confirms that they're not playing Storm. They could be a Thing in the Ice deck. They could be a Through the Breach deck. They could be a Madcap Experiment deck. Apparently, they're Grixis Pyromancer. Apparently, they're Grixis Pyromancer. Arena's channel was deleted. I don't know what that means, Dows. Oh, Ancestral's online. It is, isn't it? I'm totally gonna Visions from Beyond this turn, right? Oh, I should have Surgical'd here, maybe? Oh, my Fraying Sanity trigger already happened. So do I want to trap them now? Do I want to trap them now or do I want to wait? I think I still trap them because they're tapped out. I think I still trap them while they're tapped out here. There's no guarantee they're going to play another fetch land. Yeah, JMP, I think I actually got the perfect suggestion, re-edited content from people afterwards making suggestions. I think the perfect suggestion for edited content versus not edited content is simply having what's the word I'm searching for? Is simply having timestamps for all the matches that happened during the video. And I'm going to put the names of the decks that we play against in each of those matches in the description as well. So that way people that don't want to watch entire leagues but want to look for specific matchups can click through to them and see the highlights that they want to get to more quickly. Just wanted to be bit leader even if it is short-lived. Thank you, Moro Sith, for the bits. I appreciate it. Oh, what do we think of this? So, they're a young Pyromancer Snapcaster Mage deck. So I think I just want like Fatal Pushes and Collective Brutality. Yeah, that idea wasn't mine. I wish I could claim it, but I think that's like the perfect idea. I think as far as edited content go, I still want to do some edited content. I'm thinking maybe I'll ask people to submit some of their favorite moments from the stream, and maybe I'll do like a top 5 moments every week or every month. Once a month or once a week could be okay for something like that, I think. Maybe like a top 5 moments and like my favorite deck of the week or something like that. Something that's like some amount of edited content and then that's still just like suggestions for people. Yeah, some highlights basically. Can the video have a super clickbaity title with you hugging a Lisa mattress? Yeah, the timestamps are, you have to expand the description. Isn't Meme Monday already a highlight, right? Dang, the sand's pretty good. Mesmeric Orb is pretty great. But the video... There you go. That one right there. Everybody gets one freebie. There you go. Second orb is great. I guess the question is, do I want to play the orbs out first, or do I want to try and spot check and make sure they'll resolve / not get K-commanded with a Collective Brutality? If they play Dr. Peasy here, I'll probably just Brutality them this turn, maybe Escalated. Upgrading to the big sub, put Mill back in the queue, please. 10 out of 10, Jackal Girl. I appreciate it. Thank you for the continued support. Alright, so we're going to grab a Watery Grave here. And we'll see what we draw. I kind of like most of the cards in my hand. What am I bidding here? It's probably the Surgical Extraction, right? Because I definitely want to go... kill this, duress them. But what am I getting rid of? Steam Flogger with that sub gift. You think I want to bid an orb? Orb is just so good. I guess with this many two's probably enough. I guess two's probably enough. Extract Pyromancer. That's not a bad idea. That card is real obnoxious. You think I should take the Pyromancers away? Yeah, I guess that's probably pretty reasonable. Let's get a peek at exactly what their deck has going on. So we got 3K command. I'm going to take a picture because it lasts longer, but good to know. No, I actually don't want to draw step it because 1, they could draw a counterspell, and 2, we actually want to take extra cards out of their deck because milling them is how we win the game. So we actually want extra cards not in their deck. Assume they're going to begin sculpting our minds here. Fate sealing us literally doesn't matter because we have a Mesmeric Orb in play. So like our lands are, we're just going to mill ourselves by our lands untapping. Just like super doesn't matter. I guess they're going for the alt here. Hope your Jace was worth the 8 cards he buried. Extract K command to protect orbs. I don't know. Maybe that's okay. I guess that's probably reasonable. Jace, Thoughtseize, Bolt. So they're 10 out of 10 going for the mill win con at this point. And unfortunately, we don't really have a lot going on here. So... No, I want to hold the fetch land for if I draw a Hedron Crab. I should have held the land in my hand too in case I drew Hedron Crab, actually. Field them off red. Did I mill their mountain? I've not. Oh, I did mill their mountain. You're super right. It's a good idea. I'm going to wait to draw in case I draw a crab. I think we're going to die to this J-Salt chat. They are playing a mountain, but it's in their discard pile. I have enough lands to just cash trap those, so it's like not really a big deal. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we just lose to this. Can you believe they unbanned Jace the Mind Sculptor, chat? It is absurd that Wizards of the Coast unbanned this powerful, oppressive card. It's completely ridiculous. He just unbanned this stupid, powerful Planeswalker so they could sell booster packs of their failing set. That's what we're supposed to say, right? We're supposed to, like, pitch something like that to make it sound like they're evil and bad. Got sculpted so hard. My mind. He was sculpted, chat. I couldn't tell if those are the best trolls, chat. The best trolls are the one where they make people pause and go, wait, is he serious? Maybe if we had Stoneford Mystic that wouldn't have happened. This is match 3. We are currently 1-1. Currently 1-1. Board in an Echoing Truth. That's actually a really good suggestion. Yeah, I 10 out of 10 should have done that. 10 out of 10 should have boarded an Echoing Truth. I think I like that suggestion a lot. Silly opponent, you've activated my trap card. There are deck lists for the decks that we're playing today in the donation, in the donation queue. People have been playing various Leonin Arbiter decks in Modern almost since the inception of the format. They are consistently unimpressive and underwhelming in my opinion, but people keep playing them and putting up results. Thank you, Morrisith, for the biddies. I would lay money that as soon as the new Master set comes out, it's going to be okay. And hey, look, Stoneforge and WoW. I would not... Listen. Wizards of the Coast, as far as unbanning things in relation to Master sets, they're in a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. They're in a situation where if they unban a card without printing it in a Master set, people are going to complain that they unbanned this card and it's not accessible because of price. If they unban a card while simultaneously putting it in a Master set, people are going to complain that they only unbanned the card to sell packs of the Master set. So basically, they're regardless of what they do, so they should do whatever they want. There we go. Had to get to the next bitch bag. Well, thank you, Morrisith. I appreciate it. Enjoy the shinies. I'm not cracking this fetch land here because if my opponent wants to kill Hedron Crab, I'm going to crack the fetch land in response. I like that they keep casting cantrips. That seems good for us. You're going to be very sad here. So I'm not going to crack this fetch land just yet, even though they're tapped out, because if I draw another crab, I would like to be able to mill them extra. Lythanol, it's been 6 months. Pick up your training sword and prepare to defend the realm. Thank you for the half of your support and welcome back. I don't know. As someone who's often very critical of Wizards of the Coast, I feel like it's only fair of me to point out when there are people who are being critical in an unfair manner. Like, Wizards of the Coast definitely makes a lot of pretty stupid decisions off and on, but like, to like try and crap on them for decisions that are reasonable, I think is really unfair. I think the reason Stoneforge Mystic and a lot of the other cards that are still banned is far less nefarious than a lot of people want to believe. I think the reason those cards are still banned is because they just haven't put a lot of thought into what they want to be unbanning. Gosh, was that a good draw, chat? How do we feel about that one? Was that one up there on the list of draws? Well, seems like it was pretty okay. Pretty okay. Let's push this off a cliff. Oh, you don't want to play Magic anymore. That's sad. Come back, opponent. Come back with your slow, dirtily control deck. I feel like Mill, this is like the type of deck that's just like, whenever you pair it to the control deck, it's just like, hey, control player, nice control deck. Be a darn shame if someone were to take all your cards away while you dirtled and didn't actually kill us. It really is, AJ Crane. Counter burn is just everything I love about Magic the Gathering. That deck, that archetype, is the deck that made me fall in love with playing Magic. Truly, truly love it. We're gonna bring the Spellstutter sprites to Indy. Do I love this deck? I like this deck. Love's very strong feeling. I need to save. If I love everything, it's like loving nothing. I need to. How much does that deck cost in paper? I am blissfully ignorant about how much Magic cards actually cost. In fact, after I signed off of that league last night, I sent my buddy a message. I was like, can you please put these 80 Magic cards in a box to hand to me for Indianapolis? And he was like, yep, totally can do that. And I was like, thanks, you're the best. So as far as like what decks cost, no, not a clue. Not a clue. What's this business about training swords? The sub icons on this channel, they describe an experience of people building up and progressing through the great nation of Hoaglandia. 1 month and 3 month subs, they have shovels and boots because they're the hardworking people building this great nation from the ground up. And then at 6 months, you get a wooden training sword to begin your progression towards the knighthood. At the 12-month subscription mark, for the 1 year mark, you get a shield and a mod sword. You get to help defend the realm from the mouth-breathing Twitch chat. What's going on, Xeric? What did I lock in for the open? I locked in. I am definitely playing. I'm definitely playing the blue-red counterburn deck. Deck is sweet. Matt Man, me Monday. Psh, more like Mill Monday. Thanks for the 26 months, bud. Thanks for putting up with me. Just the Natty Trons, NBD. Natty Trons, NBD. Get World Breakered here. I couldn't mill them, chat. Oh, you're saying I should have glimpsed them and then tried to take their towers away? Because I didn't think about it. Maybe that would have been better. It's possible that would have been better. And I actually think this deck's Tron matchup is that bad. Like, especially with these bridges, I think we're actually in a pretty okay spot here. Soon, Bionic Broccoli, soon. It's possible I should have built the train into tower. Very possible. I definitely didn't think about that line. That was not a line I considered, and I should have considered it, and I appreciate folks pointing it out. Manguti, a noble hierarch, a dark confidant, and Tassiger walk into a bar. They lean up against the counter to order, and the hierarch and Bob fall down dead. Shocked, Tassiger asked the bartender what happened. The bartender said this is a -1/-1 counter. That is some quality. As someone who aspires in father-related jokes, that was 10 out of 10. That was I foobarred the delivery there a touch, but definitely that was a 10 out of 10 Magic Dad joke. I am gonna reuse that in the future. I assume we're gonna see Oblivion Stone get cracked here. Do we surgical the Ocean after they crack it? No, I need to surgical the World Breaker. Because World Breaker comes back and eats my bridges. So I assume they're cracking this at end of turn here. And then they're probably going to tap this tower and sack it to pick the World Breaker back up. I'm gonna grab a basic swamp here to preserve my health total. Yeah, that's correct. That's how that works, stream. It's one of those magic is intuitive and easy to understand moments. So they have stone nothing left in their hand. So this could potentially be good for us. So we got rid of World Breaker. They have 2 bricks. They've got 3 Karns, some Worm Coils, a Walking Bliss, and Ulamog left. Just pretty typical mono green Tron deck. So Infect counter. Infect does count as -1/-1 counters, but the way things work with adding -1/-1 counters and +1/+1 counters, if it kills the thing, it doesn't actually do what you think it's going to do, basically. Now they're going to start putting fate counters on their things. They do actually, Brian. If it doesn't kill the thing, they do actually make them go away. It's just another manic Monday. Whoa, whoa. Wish it was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. Do 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 do. Yes. Yeah, that's actually why I know that ruling. Infect creatures and Undying creatures were legal and standard at the same time, so that came up a lot. So, like, if Phyrexian Crusader first strike killed... If Phyrexian Crusader first strike killed a Strangleroot Geist that had already undied, it didn't come back again. It's actually the reason I'm familiar with that ruling. This is actually kind of great for us here. We get to mill them 12, and then we have 2 chump blockers. So this mills 3, this mills 3. Then I have Delirium, so they're going to mill 6 on their upkeep. Using Spiel to replace Spiel is a great source of fun. Yeah, it's one of those things that's just like, if Magic was about being intuitive and easy to understand, it wouldn't be this way, but it's not. We like to bury things in, like, cryptic amounts of rules. Alright, Glimpse. Glimpse is lethal here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Alright, now we need to draw a lethal one. Need to chump block. Another bridge would be great here, obviously. Dead. Close game. So that's definitely a Fatal Push Brutality out matchup. We get to bring in our last copy of Surgical Extraction again. Damping Sphere, Echoing Truth. I think Echoing Truth is better than Set Adrift here. I guess Set Adrift basically kills it. Ensnaring Bridge is actually kind of medium here, right? Or is it great? Is Ensnaring Bridge medium or great? I can't decide. It's either medium or it's great. Yeah, I like trimming some bridges, I think. Yeah, I think trimming the fourth seems fine. Let's do this. Why was I streaming so late last night? I often stream in the evenings on the weekend after whatever major event is going on is finished. And because Caleb was out of town last night, we had a bunch of viewers, so I decided to run a little bit later. The bunch of viewers plus a very generous cheer from Anoronics kept me streaming later than I normally would. I don't always work overtime, but when I do, it's likely because Anoronics sent in the biddies for it. God bless. Belligerent Mars put up a bunch of very generous bits last night, too. How many peeps last night? I think we peaked at like 1,400 or so. We ended up having an average of over 1,000 for like a 5-hour stream, which is great. My average concurrent viewer is like 700, so anything over that I usually run extra. Or I'm more willing to run extra. I'm gonna get my orbs going ASAP here, I think. Just mill as much as possible with them. Morning extras. Howdy, howdy. What'd you get? What'd you get? What'd you get? Yep. You have the power, opponent. You have the power. Surgical. Ooh. Ooh. I think I'm not supposed to play scared. I think I'm just supposed to attach Fraying Sanity here and hope they don't have the natties. I think a mistake a lot of people make when playing against a ported surgical. I think a mistake a lot of people make while playing against Tron is they play too scared of disrupting them and put off getting their own clock into play a lot of the time. I think a lot of the time, especially in these early turns, it's correct to make them have it in these instances where you don't know they have it, and then get your pressure going. No, I play quite a few different things, so it's kind of tough for me to get burnt out, I feel. If a deck's exceptionally bad, I'll add it to the no-fly list or I'll reject it if people keep adding it too much. But, like, you know, this is a deck we play on the regular, but, like, we play so many things on the regular on this channel that, like, on the regular means we play it, like, once a month or twice a month at most. I agree that our Tron matchup is pretty decent on average, though we are currently down a game in this match. That's a good draw. Got a case of the crabs here. Is this actually, this is almost lethal, right? And then I think I I actually want to Field of Room them on their turn because I want them to mill the extra card from untapping with this. This gives them a chance to dismember my crab, but I think that's fine. I think that's a small risk for a big possible upside. I prefer it with 4 trackers. I think tracker's the better card. All right, so we can actually make an educated stance on what we want to kill here. So they have 1, 2 power plants down, 2 towers down, 1 mine down. So I don't want to kill a mine because there's only 1 in the discard pile here, and I'd rather kill power plant than a tower since they're tied. You always want to favor killing the tower last, because killing the tower last means that your opponent is going to have 1 less mana the turn they finally reassemble Tron, if they had to tap the tower to reassemble Tron. Thanks for the bits extras. Good morning. Sweet. We get to do this, which buries them 3. SW heal, S-wheel, SW heal or S-wheel, Schweel. At any rate, thank you for the Twitch Prime support. I know there's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting my content this month with that. Welcome. Knox and Cross with the 8-month resub. Thanks for keeping me employed. Thanks for the 2/3 of a year. Welcome back. Remember, if you're new and enjoying my stuff, make sure you hit the follow button. There's a ton of my content on YouTube as well, because I don't steal people's music while I stream. All of my stuff gets archived to the YouTubes. Lots of wonderful stuff to find there. We are 1-1, 2-1. We're 2-1, and this is game 3 of this match. That's a good pickup. Good pickup. A bingo button. Well, I actually do. I think I have an open emote slot still. A bingo one is not a bad idea. Yeah, I'll make a bingo button. Can you send me a private message, J-Robes, a whisper, or a ping on Discord to remind me to do that? That's super easy for me, and I'd love to do it. Super easy, and I'd love to do it. It's a good idea. What did they get here? Did they get the mine? They got an Oblivion Stone. Okay, it's a little scary. Ooh. So do I definitely want to just, like, get my extra crabs into play here, right? Just like, can you feel it, Mr. Krabs? Can you feel it? It's a shame we don't have a fetch land here. So if we mill a power plant, we're going to surgically extract them. Looking for that power plant. Oh, look, chat. There it is. There's that power plant. Oh, you know what? I actually don't want to pass to their turn, because if they draw a surgical, they could surgical to counter my surgical. So I want to do this ASAP. It's been years since I've tuned in, especially because you're on other card games. Oh, there still aren't a ton of people here in Magic. There still aren't a ton of people here. Arena is going to be more viable platform to not just throw money into, or is Magic's always going to be expensive. Magic's a luxury hobby. That's just what it comes down to. It's just the truth of the game. And while my average viewer count is not something like the bigger games like Hearthstone or Counter-Strike or things like that, I'm able to do this as a full-time job. The small community that we have here is very supportive, and I'm very grateful to everything that they do for me. So thanks for keeping me here. I don't even really need to grow anymore to continue doing what I do if we just maintain. Not that I'd complain if the channel grew more, but definitely in a comfortable, happy spot with where we are now. Use a surgical before the chance. Yes, definitely extras. You're super correct. I should surgical when I hit it with the first mills. That way I didn't risk flipping over another one. The actual answer about arena stuff too is that we genuinely don't know what their plans are. Like, they might have great plans, they might have terrible plans, but the actual answer currently is we don't really know because they're still in beta. And while their current system might not seem great, there's no guarantee that that's what their system's going to be long term. You're not wrong, Firestone. Because Magic is a luxury hobby, well, I think saying everybody that plays Magic is loaded is probably an oversimplification. I do think the people that play Magic on average probably tend to have a little bit more spending money just because you need spending money to play Magic competitively. So this is kind of great. Not only do we have 3 crabs. Can you explain how them drawing Surgical would have made that line bad? So if I Surgical'd my opponent and they Surgical'd in response, their Surgical would resolve first, and with Surgical you can fail to take copies of the card that you're targeting out of the person's deck. So basically, if they Surgical the power plant that I'm targeting in their discard pile, they take the one out of their discard pile, which means my Surgical is going to be countered upon resolution, which then means that they get to keep their ones in their deck still. Yeah, so they would Surgical themselves and keep only the copy in their graveyard. Or only get rid of the copy in their graveyard, sorry. So we're getting Thought Not Seared here, but like, do you take Bridge or do you take Fraying Sanity? They're both very good. Fortnite is the perfect game for it's basically competitive Minecraft. The thing about Ancestral, the Visions card in this deck is that when you're winning the game, when Visions is on, you've likely already milled them a pretty significant amount, and you don't need that much more help to win. So multiples are also going to be clunky and get stuck in your hand. I really kind of like a lot of the details in this list. Yep, and questions like that are great. Have a plug for a mic and or camera setup. I like my mic and my camera a lot. My only complaint is that the mute button on the Blue Yeti is garbage, so I have a hotkey on my keyboard to mute and unmute, but the audio quality is very good. And the Logitech C920 is basically the Twitch industry standard for this is what people use to get video on their stuff. Do my boys play computer games yet? Jake isn't particularly interested in games. He's more into just like YouTubes and videos while he plays with his trains. But Declan's been getting into video games. Christy got a Steam controller for the computer upstairs, and we've been playing Lego Marvel together. He doesn't really get doing like the objectives that the game is setting up for you, but he understands that like him pushing buttons moves the character around. And we just mostly play the first level in the game because he likes to be the Hulk and smash the cars. We have a ton of Thomas stuff. The webcam is pretty expensive for what it is. The Logitech C920 is like, it's like $30. Or it's like $50 or $60. It's very, very cheap. It's very, very cheap. Even when they were new, they were like sub $100. Should kill the forest there. You should read Field of Ruin. Have a timeout. Oh. They're getting pretty close to build out here. They're at 14 cards. We've got a Glimpse. Any lands are mill nines, like This is actually why Oboro's in our deck, because you can make a land drop every turn with it with Hedron Crab. Boop! Boop, boopy on the nose. Boopy on the nose. Can't fault mini Hoogs because Hulk Smash is fun. It's great. I get to play Iron Man and fly around and help him. It's good stuff. Good stuff. All right, well, we're 3-1 with Mill. Last time we played this deck, we 4-1 with it. Slow and steady. Confirmed a modern deck already. Let's see if we can get some extra chesties in the last match. If you enjoy this archetype and you would like to see more of it, be sure to check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. 100% of my streams get archived there, and I break them up by deck so you can watch just the matches that you care about. Search Blue Black Mill in there. We've played, but this is probably the 4th, maybe even 5th league we've played with this deck at this point. Jackal Girl sponsors a lot of wonderful Mill leagues. And this deck's been... Then this is like... Mill is basically a fan favorite archetype in my experience making Magic content, and this is the most competitive configuration of Mill that I've played on stream, having played several. This is the 3rd? Okay, that sounds right. Yeah, you're right. The ones we played before it were much... It's funny, Jackal Girl. Before you submitted this configuration, I was very close to putting this deck on the no-fly list because people kept submitting terrible builds of it. I like this build a lot. The record command is not working. We are 3-1. Battle of Wits one time. You're a monster! What is the difference with this one? So that's actually a good question. What this Mill list is doing that I really like is the way a lot of people attempt to build Mill in Modern is they try to build it like a crappy burn deck. They try and build it like every card in your deck just mills them the most you can mill them. Whereas this deck is playing Fatal Pushes and Brutalities and Ensnaring Bridges, and it's trying to actually interact with the board and control the game a little bit. This archetype isn't fast enough in Modern to out-linear the other linear decks. It needs interactive elements in order to be competitive. So the fact that this is like a control deck with a mill win condition, I think is the correct way to build this archetype. This hand's very good. Very, very good. Hedron Crab is just like one of the best cards of this deck. Not close. Give him the crabs! Arr, arr. Yeah, Hedron Crab is one of those neat questions where it's like, if I could play any number of Magic cards in my deck of each copy, like I play like 10 crabs, like what's the maximum number of crabs I would play in this deck if I was allowed to play any number of crabs? Like what's the answer here? Because I don't actually know. The answer is probably a lot. It's probably a lot. $40 crabs. How much do you play Melon Indie in a crab costume? I'm playing fairies in Indie. I'm playing blue-red Spellstutter sprites because it is the cards that I love. They are the cards that I love, chat. Don't take the things I love away from me. Would I take this deck to a tournament? I think this deck checks most of the boxes of a deck that I'd play in a Magic tournament. I think it gets enough free wins in the format that it's probably fine. So do I want to play Orb here or do I want to play Manic Scribe? I think I want to play Orb here first because I want to get this down. Not that they're going to have tapped lands necessarily, but I want to get this into play just so I can start triggering Delirium for this faster. I love the Orb Manic Scribe synergy in this deck, by the way. It's quite excellent. Am I going to wear a fairy costume for Indy? No, I am not. I'm planning to pack a couple of nice polos and just look like a decent, respectable human being. Restoration Angel is the one I had an affair with. My love for Spell Stutter Spray started long before I ever touched a Restoration Angel. People don't run Leyline of Sanctity in Storm because drawing Leyline of Sanctity sucks. And your deck full of cantrips is going to draw the Leylines. They should be pretty dead here. So they have 22 cards. They're milling 4 down to 18. They're milling 6. They're milling 3. Yeah, I think we have this locked up now. Yeah, that should lock it. So down to 13. Yeah, they literally just can't kill me without milling themselves out at this point. And like, my Manic Scribes are very likely to get Delirious next turn. Just pretty stock Bant Spirits here. Pretty stock Bant Spirits. What do you think of using Faithless Looting? I am not an expert with Storm. Storm is the type of deck that you need a lot of reps in with to get reasonable feedback out of it. So I would not make major changes to the archetype like that without knowing more. Indies next weekend, Marty. Collective Brutality. Well, they're dead next turn, so I'm just going to take a peek at their hand. We hit Delirium, so these are going to mill them out. No, I think we have enough. We have enough card types to Delirium pretty consistently. We have a bunch of enchantments, and we have a bunch of artifacts. I think Mind Funeral is not worth playing. I think Glimpse is the better card. I'd rather have consistency. Yeah, happy Meme Monday, folks. Every Monday we try to focus on playing decks that are kind of sweet around these parts. Alright, so Collective Brutality is pretty rancid here, right? So I want to cut that. What else do I want to trim? Surgical is actually probably not good enough here, right? I want to just trim those. Crypt Incursion is absurd because their deck is all creatures. Maybe trim a... Would I rather trim Search or Visions from Beyond? I think I'd rather trim Search or Visions because Crypt doesn't combo with Visions from Beyond. Do I board against Leyline? They don't usually... Spirits doesn't play Leyline. To get rid of Leyline / Worship. We don't care about Worship. Worship doesn't matter. Worship doesn't have text against us. I'd be pretty surprised if my opponent had Leyline in their deck. I'm not gonna board for that. Especially while we're up a game. Like, putting Leyline in your Collected Company deck seems really terrible. Crypt Incursion is definitely one of the better cards against an aggressive deck. Pretty hard to mulligan any hand that has Bridge in the opener against an aggressive deck. Double orb is not bad either. This is going to be our last match with Mill. Hopefully our last game with Mill if we win. But don't go anywhere because we've got plenty more sweet decks today for Meme Mondays. We're going to be playing a pile of Teamer cards next, followed by Blue-White Charbelcher, Green-Red Warp World, Gristlebrand, Necrotic Ooze. Lots of shenanigans to ensure for the remainder of the day. I feel like Brutality is just too likely to, like, not have a text box. They also, like, don't have that many things that, what's the word I'm searching for? They don't have that many things that I can discard with it. I did mean Big Tef's Horizon Cannon. I ran out of characters in my Twitch stream title. I might have a little bit of a hard time getting my hand empty enough here. The fact that this card fuels Delve cards too is so great. Yeah, the Horizon Cannon deck was sweet last time we played it. For sure. They have a Lord here. We're going to die pretty quickly. That's fair. The Brutality makes the bridges better. That's an interesting take that's accurate. That's not something I'd thought about. Probably worth considering. Let's take 4 here. Down to 12. Dead to a Lord next turn, it looks like. I think I just want to glimpse them. Now I'm going to Mesmeric Orb. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut this Mausoleum Wanderer. Just get him out of there. No, we've not been very good at archive trapping people today. I think we've only cast like 2 or 3 archive traps in this league. I didn't let them untap with the Mausoleum Wanderer to make them mill 2 extra cards because I wanted them to not be able to flash in a Lord in response to protect it. Yeah, people are excited to try out new archetypes for sure. Spirits is a deck that people have been testing very vigorously. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can gain 24 next turn. That was lethal. That is lethal. All right, so do I want these brutalities? After dying with a bunch of cards in my hand, I feel like I want these brutalities. Probably the Search for Azcanta's out. And a Fraying Sanity, maybe? No, the other visions. Let's do that. Let's just cut all of those. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, I forgot Geist was a spirit. Oh, Saint Trash. Oh, Saint Trash. Oh. Brutality is better on the play. That's not wrong. You are not incorrect. I would love to play first. I mean, there's a non-zero chance they're just cold to these bridges, right? Now, you don't have much experience with it yet, but do you think the new Lord adds something substantial to spirits? Yeah, I think so. If you go back and you look at all the videos of me playing spirits in the past, my conclusion at the end is basically the same every time. It's, this deck doesn't have good 2-drops and it plays too many 3s. So the new Lord allows you to move your curve down nicely. Narset Cannon wants to go second, and 8-Rack likes to go second. Those are like tier 70 decks, though. Niva Wanderer. Okay. So, wait, what? Would Judges familiar? Engineered explosives on 1. Deal, I guess? No, that's pretty much not true in Modern. You shouldn't go second in Control Mirrors in Modern. I think that's pretty silly. I'm gonna go ahead and escalate this. Just like use my mana this turn. Get a heads up for what's going on. They have a Spell Queller, but we're gonna get to get in under that. I was expecting this to miss. I just wanted to get cards out of my hand. Play my oppressive Modern card. Enjoy. Alright, I'll change resolves. To be fair, Mr. Krabs punched the clock and went to work on them in the first game. And they hadn't seen... I don't think they'd seen Ensnaring Bridge. Thalia, cute. And because we drew a land here, which should be pretty easy to keep our deck pretty empty. I wonder if they have a way to take this bridge off the table in their deck right now. There's a non-zero chance they don't outside of these explosives. This is gonna be Phantasmal Image by Noble Hierarch. That would be really funny. Really? That's weird. There's no reason for them to tap out for that there. Seems like a weird to play that out because it has flash from the Rattle Chains. So, like, they should have just left up Spell Queller for sure. Tilt. Stop on their upkeep here. Fatal Push this Noble Hierarch. Even if they Spell Queller it, it means they can only attack us for 1 this turn, which is nice. So I'm assuming this is getting quellered. But then we just have to, like, find a mill spell or 2 to resolve before they... Or, like, a Crypt Incursion. Before they can kill us with these Exalted Beats. We're through 3 brutalities already, which kind of sucks. Manic Scribe's okay. Oh, Manic Scribe's great, actually. It blocks, right? That's absurd. Milieu. Put my blocker into play. We're one card type away from this being delirious. Do you have another Phantasmal Image or another Noble Hierarch? Kinda. Like, we're definitely the control deck in this matchup. Like, trying to survive is, like, definitely game plan number one. If this resolves, not only is it good at milling them out, but it's also going to help enable our Manic Scribe. Like, I'm going to, if they, like, pass to us with the Mesmeric Orb in play still, I'm going to tap my lands to mill myself 5, so that way I can, like, get Delirium for this Scribe ASAP. You think our opponent's having fun? I'm having fun. Are you having fun, chat? That's the most important part. That the 800 of us are having fun. I would like to block. They have something here? What do they have? It's silly to just attack for no reason there. Come on. Come on. Tilt. Attacking gives them the feeling of executing game actions, right? Field of Ruin does not increase our clock because our opponent is not obligated to get a land out of their deck. They are obligated to search their library. They're not obligated to pull a card out of it. Yeah, the last time we played this deck, we went 4-1 as well. This build of Mill is very competitive. Another 4-1 here. You know, I don't really know that I'd change anything. We talked a little bit about in that league how I really like this configuration, and that's definitely still true after playing those games. I think building this deck in a way that it's a control deck with a mill finish, as opposed to trying to race and turbo mill your opponent, is much, much better. The quality of and the speed of the mill cards in Modern. 2 swords at the same time. Brecken Sky, thank you for the 6-month free subscription at the tier 3 level at that. Be sure to drop me a message in private if there's a deck already in the queue you'd like to bump. Otherwise, make sure you fill out the deck submission form underneath the stream to add a new deck to the queue with your tier 3 sub. Thank you for the continued support as always. Yeah, I think I'd play this again card for card. I like the flexibility that this deck has, and I like the selection of cards that we have in it as is. Like I said, this is the 3rd time we've played this iteration, and I think I would continue playing this in the future. Jackal Girl actually bumped her sub to a tier 3, so we're able to, this will be back in the queue later, and we'll be playing it again at some time soon, I'm sure. At any rate, Meme Monday is far from over. Let's update the stream title.